Hello pioneers, in the last episode of our Satisfactory series, we explored alien technology, hunting for SAM ore and unlocking dimensional storage for better inventory management. This episode, we're going to tackle the complex aluminum production process. From bauxite to aluminum ingots, we'll handle byproducts and bottlenecks and everything in between to enter the aluminum age. Let's get started. Let's look into a couple of suggestions from my viewers. Firstly, people have said I can just directly drag stuff from dimensional storage straight into my bag. Oh, that's amazing. And then I can put stuff from my bag into dimensional storage if I unload this uploader. Okay, now we know what the upload is for. Fantastic. Someone else suggested that instead of deleting and adding stuff, I can actually just hold control and then directly replace an item like a wall into a conveyor wall. That's amazing. Alright, that makes things so much easier. My final suggestion deals with these doorways that I've been creating. Apparently, someone said I should go to the fixer shop and unlock the gates. This is one of the few things that we hadn't purchased yet, and in here we have a door frame. Oh my god. Let's get that.
Thank you for investing into our internal closed economy. Your contributions provide aid to many good fix-it causes.
Although, this doorway is only one tile large, so my custom doorways still might need some framing, but let's get rid of this. And let's replace it with a pre-frame doorway. Gate, hole, wall. Yeah. For single tiles, definitely looks a lot better. For any doorways bigger than a single tile, we'll probably still stick to our frame pillar. I actually don't know if this looks better. What do you guys think? Frame pillar, built-in doorway. Kinda looks cool. Our factory's looking great, by the way. I really like it. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll leave it for now, and we'll test some other stuff. There's also the automated gate, which does it just go onto the doorway, or is this like a separate thing? How automated is this gate? I always find the doors a little bit not reactive. Okay. I can't even dismantle it. There we go. Now it's finally working. I guess we can use an automated gate, right, as well. But I don't know about closing off my factory. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, aesthetically, it looks a bit weird. I like to just have it open. We don't need doors. But our factory is coming along great, and no one has actually commented on the design or the layout of my factory, which is interesting. So the concept being that it's infinitely expandable out towards the south side. It's been working out for us so far. I mean, it's gotten us all the way to tier 7, but I'd love to hear from you guys about how your factories look and how you lay out all your smelting arrays. I know somebody has told me that they put one building per item and things like that. You know, there's different layouts and you can have different buildings, one for each component, or you can have bespoke buildings specifically dedicated to building one component. Like if you needed one of these phase 4 components, you'd set up an entire factory just dedicated to producing those items in a certain volume. I think that's a great idea. It's not how we've chosen to do ours. We've just chosen to do this massive factory. So yeah, it's been working out so far. Anyway, enough chitter chatter. It's time to get back to work before Ada complains about how inefficient we're being lately. We have recently unlocked bauxite, and our bauxite is over there to the north in the pink forest. Recently, I also learned this forest is called the Forest of Death. But we had set up all the stuff that we need for bauxite refinement up there, so it's time to go up there and build our aluminium factory. We've decided to instead of bringing bauxite back to the base and processing the aluminium here, due to the requirement for water in the process, we've basically decided to do it up there in the pink forest, and then we'll tractor back the aluminium ingots. So let's get to work. With my dimensional storage and all these items being stored in there, hopefully that process is going to be easier than ever. So I'm going to sort out my inventory and then we're going to head up. I'm going to do something that might kill our short-term efficiency, but hopefully help with our long-term efficiency. And that is, I've emptied my entire inventory except for plastic and rubber because that's not in dimensional storage yet. But we're basically going to carry nothing, and then we're going to go build our aluminium factory with only dimensional storage. And that's going to be able to show us what we actually need when we're building. So, for example, when we start building our aluminium factory, if we keep running out of concrete, or we keep running out of iron plate, that means our dimensional storage isn't keeping up with our building demands. So we will adjust accordingly by bringing those specific items along with us instead of keeping a full inventory item of random stuff. If you're enjoying the video and you want to support Data Engineer Plays, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to share them in the comment section. The other thing that someone mentioned was the hypertubes, which is currently relevant because I want to set up a hypertube to get back and forth. So they said with my hypertube cannon, I need to change the way it works. We can shift it so that it's a little bit more condensed. So in fact, I'm going to build a blueprint. So apparently we can put it here, hologram it, and we can shift it half a tile that way. Nope, that doesn't work. How do we shift it half a tile? So moving it left and right shifts it that, but if I hold control, we move it half a tile. Okay, I see. Is that already half a tile? So we hologram every other one, shifting it half a tile in. That way we can get the entrances closer. Cool. We'll do it 2 tiles wide and see how many entrances we can fit in there. That looks about 2 tiles wide. We put entrances on every second one. I want it to go that way, I think. Towards the arrow. Alright, that's 6. I think 6 is a good number. Oh man, that is really, really hard to get the tube part in. I can't even see. I'm just guessing that there's the tube connected. Alright, cool. I think that is the hypertube cannon part. Let's get power in. We'll use a Mark II power pole for this. Where should the power pole go that makes the most sense? Probably just put it right next to the front. That makes sense. 6, and there's a free slot for that thing to go connect to an actual power source. Alright, with that, we will go and test this blueprint now. Alright, it's going to be going over here somewhere. Probably right here. Now we know the pole is the exit, so we'll just do something like that maybe, and then we will test it out. So we should be able to drag a tube this way. We'll even angle it up. Connect the power, and we'll give it a little test. Fantastic, it works. Wow, look at that. I know people have suggested doing 45-degree hypertube cannons that just shoot me to places. It's a good idea, but then you'd have to have another cannon that shoots you back, right? Otherwise, say you shot yourself to the other side of the map, then like, what are you gonna do? Walk back home? Like, it's not a great way of exploring, is it? Alright, we've made it to the top near the pink forest. Now it's time to route it to, I don't know where to go, probably just to the end over here. That's pretty much where our aluminium factory is going to start. This is perfect. All right, we're going to connect another entrance to this now. So let's chuck one down. Ooh. Now we're missing materials. Steel pipes not keeping up. All right, let's test the hypertube with just one entrance and then we'll zoom our way back. We need this hypertube to test our material shortages, because I'm sure as we start building, we're going to notice that we're out of a lot of things. But also, this problem will resolve itself hopefully one day when I can upload more stacks to things. Alright, we'll grab a stack of steel pipes, knowing that that's one of the materials we might want to keep on us if we're building things like hypertubes. We can test our 6 cannon entrance and see how fast it gets us to the aluminium area. I think 6 is okay. If we want to get there faster, we can always double it to 12. It's not a big issue. I don't think power is an issue when it comes to hypertube entrances. But we'll get an entrance going this way properly. So theoretically, I should just be able to put that up. Oops. Wasn't meant to dismantle the support, but it's fine. Can't see anything through the pink forest. And then if we just connect that, and we connect the power line, we should be all good. Cool. We won't test it yet, but we will start building our aluminium factory. So with the aluminium factory, we know the process requires a bunch of stuff to refresh our memories. So here's a refinery, which is where most of the work is being done, and here is the aluminium related items. So to refresh our memories, we're going to build 5 foundries to ultimately turn the aluminium scrap into ingot. But to support all that, we need 1.25 refineries to make alumina solution and 2.5 refineries to make aluminium scrap. And to do that, we need 250 silica to turn into 150 quartz. we need 300 water and 150 coal per minute to supply that. And that is why we've chosen to do the processing here, because around this area we have a coal belt that we've already prepped this area, by the way. If you don't remember from a couple episodes ago. I know I did the prepping and then I kind of stopped and went to hunt Mercer spheres. But basically we've pulled our quartz from over this side and we brought it over. We pulled our coal from over there somewhere and brought it over, and we'll just set up water somewhere down here near this lake or near this little river. So we're going to start over here. We're going to turn this into our quartz first. Now I apologize if I'm being a little bit unfamiliar with the game. It's been a few days since I played. I pre-recorded so many episodes before the Christmas period, and I don't think I've played for like 5 days now. So if I'm a little bit like scattered, that's probably why. So this over here is our quartz crystal maker, which is what we need. Wait, we don't want to make quartz crystal, sorry. We want to make silica. So to make the 250 silica we require 37.5 per minute. We need 6.6 machines. So we're going to make 2 rows of constructors to turn this into silica. So I'm going to start sketching out what our factory might look like. So if we retain this main path, I think we can just build that away without hitting anything. And we'll make it infinitely scalable that way, I guess. So we'll process the silica here. Then we will drag that belt into refineries here. Then we will make more refineries here. And then finally the foundries over here. And then we'll do like a truck stop here. And then it can road its way back to the base. And we'll make it always infinitely expandable towards the east. So let me set up some factory sections now to get all that sorted out. We'll keep with our current design. So we'll use these factory sections, factory room corner. Well, I don't know if everything's going to go into a factory room or whether we're going to do an open design, but I'm just going to use the corner to sketch out 4x4 sections. We'll still keep our 4x4 design pattern going. I like the 4x4 design pattern. So we'll do a 16x16 room for the first 2 processes. And these massive trees in the middle of my factory are starting to get a little bit annoying. Let me see what I can do about that. I just went back to base to get some biofuel, and I did realize I forgot to delete these hypertube supports in the blueprint. So let me just fix that. I just came back and I got stuck there and I was like, why am I stuck? Anyway, that's saved. I'm going to grab some biofuel and we're going to go do some tree chopping. That's one thing that we got to keep on us is biofuel. And with nature out of the way, we can finally get to work now. We'll start with our row of constructors, and we wanted to go, we'll do a similar pattern where we'll input from this side and then we'll go out the other side. There's plenty of room for subfloor underneath, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But here's the first row. Here's the start of my factory. I guess our constructors go here in the same pattern that we've always done them. Something like this. Now our factory needs a stairway and a roof. So we'll do that in the similar pattern that we've done, keeping this side clear for all our belt shenanigans in the future. Well, does it need a stairway and a roof, or does it just need a roof? Is anything going to be above this? I don't think so. We don't need a stairway, but we do need a roof. Or at least this part needs a roof, because then they're going to be refineries, right? All right, I'm going to go set that up. All right, that's our first 4 constructors down. We need another 4. Is that in line? I believe it is. So we'll grab another 4 constructors and we will hook up their inputs and outputs. I know these belts are all of different marks, but whatever. Right now, I can't be bothered. So we'll get the inputs, the outputs, and the power connected between our 2 blueprints. We'll add some more floor over here as well. Now we'll configure all these to do silica. And I think I calculated that we needed 6.6. So we'll get the first 4 running at full pace, and then we'll get the second 4 to make 25 each, and that should give us the correct 250 we need. It's just that I don't like to delete parts of my blueprint, because if we scale up eventually, then we're going to have to rebuild all of it. So it's better to just underclock a set of machines such that you get your production targets using sets of 8 or whatever. Let's just validate that's the correct number. So 4 are making 25 and 4 are making 37.5. So 37.5 plus 25, 62.5. Then 62.5 times 4 is 250, and that is exactly the amount of silica we want to output. Fantastic. Now we just need to hook all this up to power. So we're going to bring some sort of power over. Let me figure out how we can do that. I'm going to bring this path from our power tower on the main road out so we can build a closer power tower. Just checking out dimensional storage as we build. Yeah, I don't think concrete is ever going to be able to keep up with the rate that we're building. Not for building an entire factory section anyway. I think these dimensional storage at the rate that I've currently got it is pretty handy for doing things like minor construction things, but not to build an entire section of base. So I'll get a power tower going right here in line with the other one. Hook that up. And we'll bring the power into the base. Yes, this is as good a point as any. Hook to our wall power, and then that will be the start of power to our factory. Maybe we'll amend it to like come in from here later or something. We'll see how it goes. The next thing that we need to do is our refineries. So let's finish hooking this up. So if we put the raw quartz in, this should start making silica. Now our raw quartz is over here, so we can either reverse the direction or we can just bring it in here somehow. I think we'll just bring it in here. Let's not complicate things. We'll bring it somewhere like here. Then we'll replace this with a conveyor wall. Then we'll just bring it up to the conveyor wall. That's perfect. What a guess where I stop this thing. Alright, cool. We got raw quartz up there. We just need to bring it into there. That should be nice and clean. And with the raw quartz feeding in, we should be now producing some silica. Fantastic. Silica will now come out here somewhere, and we will feed it into machines over here. So the first step in the process is found 2.5 refineries that turn 450 water and 300 bauxite, and it creates 300 alumina solution and 125 silica. Okay, so we need to bring bauxite and water into a set of refineries here. I said I need 2.5, so we're going to build 3 and underclock 1. We don't have a thing for refineries yet because obviously they don't fit into my blueprints. Do they fit into my blueprint designer? I don't think they do. Maybe they fit into my new blueprint designer, but I'm not too sure. And it's very hard to do a blueprint for this because the setup is custom every single time, right? Because we might not need only solids or only liquids, or we might output only solids or only liquids. So we'll still continue to build these just by hand. Figure out where to place them. This seems like as good of a spot as any, so we're going to drop 3 refineries. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to set their recipes to make alumina solution, I believe. So we need to feed it in bauxite and water, and we're going to get alumina solution and silica out. So it's a solid and liquid input in and a solid and liquid input out. Maybe make everything properly aligned. And we need one of them clocked at 50%. Fantastic. All right. So now we need to get the bauxite in here. So we probably want to delete the subfloor, right? Do we want to delete this subfloor? See how that looks. That's kind of okay, isn't it? We probably need to build ourselves an actual subfloor. So let me quickly go do that before I fall through the floor and die. Great, and we'll give ourselves a little ladder to go back up. Now we can do the liquid and the solid through this subfloor, so we can clean up this main factory area a little bit. So let's start with the solid. We'll just get the solid going right here like this. Get some splitters going with material coming in from this side. Get a wall going over here somewhere for our solid material. Now we just need to get bauxite into this area. Now bauxite is right there, so it shouldn't be too hard of a path to get through. I mean, can't we just do something like this? If we get it to the right elevation, which I believe is here, then I think this path is actually long enough to just go. Nah, that's too long. Alright. So I'll have to do this the hard way, unfortunately. About here. So let's bring our belt from here to here. Then if we get this thing at the right height, which I believe is this height, we should be able to run a belt connecting these two like that, and that'll be nice and straight, getting the bauxite straight out of the mine into our refineries. We can get rid of the scaffolding, and that looks pretty decent, I think. Let's power up this mine and get it going. How much bauxite do we need? I haven't actually calculated. It's 300 bauxite. All right, so we do need some power shards in here because this is not actually enough. So let's get this powered up. We might run the power down through the floor like this, and then use this to hide the wire a little bit. Yeah, that looks nice, I think. Good enough. Bauxite is now coming out, and that is our first new material in a very long time. Hopefully it'll go up, and now we just need to supply water. 450 water. Unfortunately, we don't have Mark II water extractors yet, and each one only gives 120. Okay. So we need how many to supply the 300 water we need? We can overclock 2, or we can underclock 3. I suppose underclocking 3 is a better use of our power, though the only challenge here is to fit 3 of these into the water. So given this is not a lake, we're going to have to just do it wherever it fits, I think. 1. Ow. What was that? Something bit me. Oh, there's a thing here. Okay. Stupid bugs. I walked right into that. One more. Resource not deep enough. Or somewhere is deep enough. I see a little bit of blue. There we go. Now, are they all lined up to something or other? I have no idea. We're not going to worry about the alignment too much. Let's just get the pipes in. We can use Mark 1 piping because we don't need it to be Mark 2. We can just do something like that. And then we'll get a junction going over here. And we'll get the pipe in here. Oh, it doesn't like that. Yep, that seems to work. It seems to be okay with that. Let's get some power into this. We'll drop a Mark 2 power pole anywhere. We'll connect the power. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just bring the power up to the nearest connection like that. There we go. It goes through the floor a little bit messy, but it's okay. So we want the target production of each machine to be 100. Copy that setting and we'll give it to these other 2 machines, and just like that we have water. We need to bring the water over and then pipe it up. We definitely need a pump, so we'll just run the pipe however which way over to our factory. And then we're going to drop a pump on it right here, knowing that we're definitely going to need it. And hopefully going from there to our factory is classified as 50 meters of lift. So we don't need any more pumps. Not that pumps are a big issue anyway, they don't cost that much. But we need to bring it up now, so we'll just bring the pipe anywhere here. And then we'll bring it up. Now let's figure out an infrastructure to do this. So we want to bring the pipe down here, like something like this. What does that look like? Like that. That doesn't clip anything and looks great, I think. And is right in the dead center of a tile, which makes it nice and easy to place. We can do it at a height if we want to, or we can do it on the floor. We'll just do it on the floor. Let's not overcomplicate our lives. And just like that, we now need to get a central pipe to go across, probably from here to here. Then with a couple of pipeline junctions, we should be able to line this up and get everything connected properly. So hard to do pipes. Alright, that should do it. Now if we just get the water from here connected up, we should be sweet. That's like the worst. We should at least get this part going, okay? Don't need to be messy when we don't need to be messy. I know that made a lot of sense, right? And there we go. We've got water in now. Let's check if it's pumping at the right number. Yeah, looks kind of okay. More importantly, is this able to do its thing, or is this just like, no? Okay. This thing is doing its thing. It's getting all the water up. Yep, we're okay about here. Sometimes I don't know if there's something wrong with my pipes or just the way the water just takes a while to fill up. Yep, we got maximum water here now. Yep, we got maximum water up here. All right, we just need power in these machines to test it out. How I plan to do this power is going to be interesting as well. Can I do ceiling mounts backwards? Where is the power from these machines coming from? I'm always been curious. Oh, it's like on this side. Ew. So if I want to do ceiling power, it would have to be like above. Otherwise, I could do a new system that would look cleaner, but would be kind of horrible, which is to connect it to like floor power here. Otherwise, we can just do something simple like power lines. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with power lines. Keep things nice and simple. If we really wanted to, we could do like a wall over here. You guys know me by now, I'm not the best at design. I'm just doing what seems to make sense to me. And I don't know about power poles in the middle of my factory, but whatever. Let's get that in as well. I think this is the closer connection, so we'll connect it like this, and we can remove this line now. That looks a bit better. It goes in here, power goes in here now, and then it goes in here. Fantastic. All right, with power, let's see what this thing's doing now. It is not getting any water. Why? Did I do the input and output in the right direction? It's getting the bauxite. That is the output, right? Yeah, that is the output. Let's see why it's not getting water. Getting water there. Getting water there. For some reason, it's just not getting water there. So troubleshooting my pipes, the flow rate is just really low. Someone told me to try valves, so I might give valves a go. I might be confused which way the water's trying to flow because gravity and such. Like, the good thing about valves is that they're free, so. Okay, let's try a valve over here to tell it not to, you know, flow water back this way. And now we've got flow rate, kind of, and it's dropping and increasing and dropping and increasing. I know we can just do a, a pump, but I just wanted to try out these valves, see if they actually like work. I think it is a pump problem, so I can just add a pump, and the valves don't seem to be doing anything. All right, whatever, we'll just add a pump here. I wonder if someone's got a more mathematical optimized approach on when and how many pumps you need for how much distance of pipe and verticality. I mean, it says a pump can lift water 50 meters upwards, so I don't see why the flow rate here would be an issue. But with that, hopefully our aluminium refineries are finally getting some water at a decent rate. Yes. Looks good to me. No, it doesn't. It's still not good. 180. 100. Did I miscalculate the water? 180, 180. That's 360 water already. What? Oh, sorry. I got confused. We need an extra 300 water. But these things actually need 450 water. I see, okay. So these things need 450 water, but water is going to be a byproduct of our next process. Now I understand. That's why these are undersupplied. So don't worry about the fact that they're undersupplied, but they are working and they are producing alumina solution. So we can move on to the next step of our process. Someone also told me a fantastic hint for working with these pipes and machines to distinguish what each of these things are doing. So I'm going to try it out. And we're going to use color palettes to color code everything. I don't have a swash that's like bauxite, but maybe this white orange is a good color. That looks barely any different to what we are making. Let me make a custom swash. We'll use swash 6. Can we change the name of this stuff? I want it to be white and white. Can we just make a pure white swash? When you change the swash, it automatically changes all these machines. Fantastic. So yeah, these are going to be white machines, and that's going to denote it's making alumina solution, which is white. These pipes are carrying water, so we should give it a blue swash, like this. So we know that water is coming in, and this entire pipe should be blue. Oh no, every single pipeline support needs to be colored individually. Okay, forget coloring the pipeline supports, we'll just color the main parts of it. The supports can be orange. That's fine. And these like machines on the pipes can be orange. But we'll make the pipe itself blue. That way we know that this is the water pipe. Looks so weird being blue, but whatever. It's about color coding them so that we can stay organized. All right, great. We've got our blue water pipe over here. Looks a bit ugly, but looks like a little Smurf pipe. But yes, we have alumina solution now, so we need to figure out what we want to do with that alumina solution, and notice that the alumina solution is also outputting silica at 25 per minute here and 50 per minute over there. It produces 125 silica, which we're going to merge with our 250 silica over there to supply the silica for the, I think we need it for the 5 foundries. So we're not going to touch the output right now, we're going to focus on the liquid part of the output. So let's keep going and add a new section of our factory. So add some flooring over here. Here. End it over here. And here. That should fit 2 refineries. Our next refinery is going to be for turning the alumina solution into alumina scrap. So we'll set our refineries down, same way we've been doing. Nice and lined up. This space will be for the pipes and stuff, so we'll do it 1 tile out. I did this one slightly wrong, but that's fine. We've learned from our mistakes, because whoa, are we going to use the subfloor? I don't know. But we need 2 refineries and 1 clock down to 25%. But we're going to use them to produce aluminum scrap. So this process will turn the alumina solution and a bit of coal into aluminum scrap and water. The water needs to feed back into the old process, and the alumina scrap is going to go to some foundries for processing. So let's start with dealing with the first input first. Should we take it into the subfloor and route it around, or should we take it up and around? It's such a interesting question. If we go the subfloor route, are we not deleting like 2 sets of this? How does that look? And also, if we go the subfloor route, these things aren't exactly positioned to do my usual subfloor pattern. I'd have to use conveyor holes, which everyone seems to love, but I just hate them. And the reason why I don't like conveyor holes is, what's the difference between a conveyor hole and just doing that? They look the same. They both look like they're going through the floor. No, I'll put a conveyor hole here, right? And we'll compare. Like, literally, if like you can just not use a conveyor hole and just do this, and it just looks like it's going through the floor. The conveyor hole adds literally 0 aesthetic value. I get that it has this functional value to create sort of infinite lifts or whatever you guys use it for, but yeah, not great. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to elevate it, and then I'm going to bring it out like around here and through here. So we'll do something like this. We'll add our mergers to go this way. We'll replace this wall. Oh, that control clicking? Fantastic. Thank you, viewer, who suggested it to me. Just because I don't call you by name, don't make it sound like I'm unappreciative. I am very appreciative for all your feedback and suggestions. I just can't remember everyone's names who comments. But I do remember the comment, and that's the important part. Alright, let's get some splitters in here. Then we should be able to do that to there. Wait, what am I doing? I've gone insane. This is the silica. Okay, that's fine. We need to do the silica anyway. But we also need to do the liquid piping. So if we're going to do the... maybe we can do the solid piping on the 3rd floor, and we'll do the liquid piping on the 2nd floor. That way the liquids don't have to travel upwards as much. Ideally, I can keep the liquids not even elevated at all, just on the ground floor, but then that gets in the way of our walking. So we're gonna bring it up a little bit in line with this wall. So I know there is a pipeline wall hole, so we can do that as our starting point, and then we can get a pipeline that comes out this way. Now to turn a pipeline is a little bit annoying. Something about like this. We'll use a stackable pipeline support. Like that. And does this turn happen at 90 degrees? Noodle. That looks 90-ish degrees to me, so I'm gonna keep that. The stackable pipeline support is also super annoying because it looks terrible with the two sort of circles underneath and not being used. In fact, I kind of like just using a regular thing underneath to make it look okay. Otherwise, we can just delete the support. But it's in the middle, which is nice. We can set one here. And we can put a stackable pipeline support on top of it. We can run a big straight pipe along here. Then hopefully the splitting part will tell me if I hit control where they go. There we go. And now we should be able to junction this, but we got to do it in the right way to get the turn where we want it, which is like that. So we go from here to here. There we go. And now alumina solution should be flowing out here through this pipe into this wall. Fantastic. Now we do the same thing on the other side. Literally exactly on the other side. Okay. I'm just extending my pipelines out a bit, you know, for future expandability, because we know we're going to need to increase our aluminum production one day, and just not today. Noodle is okay for these turns. Then we need to use a different one, horizontal to vertical, for these turns. All right, let me get rid of this stuff as well. It's a bit, cutting it a bit close on these ones, but let's see if we can make it work. Because we need to leave room for our foundries. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's fine. We'll know when we get the solid input in. So that should get alumina solution into here. Let's power these machines up and see how we go. Now we can add a roof onto this side because the thing that goes above them is foundries. So let me quickly do that. And the joys of a roof means we can get some sort of wall power going. So let's get this powered. Same way we did before. We use a power pole. I like this idea of going directly down and just doing a power pole right in front of the machine. It makes the power line look a lot cleaner than we did in our plastic rubber setup. And since we're doing this in like a semi-indoor factory, I think that's a good idea. So let's get that into wall power next. Then we'll connect the wall outlets and we should be all good to go. Fantastic. We can see the alumina solution is going in. Our second material that needs to go in is coal. So the coal should go in through the subfloor. So let's remove this section of flooring. Oh man, that's going to be annoying as well for this pipeline support, but we'll worry about that in the future. But now we'll just chuck in something like that and we'll get the lifts going downwards. And by the way, I've been building this entire time and I have not yet used any, I haven't had to run back for any materials yet. We'll go down to the subfloor now and we'll add some more subfloor. Add our splitters for the coal. And we need it going out a wall somewhere. Probably lined up as best as we can. Something like that. And now we just need to hook up the coal. Let me remind myself where I brought the coal in. Our coal is... Look at where the coal is, literally. It's literally right here. We need to bring it down into the subfloor. This is so silly. Let's get it out of the way of our factory. I was like, where's my coal? Oh, right, it's right here. I want to do something like that. Get it going down. And then we'll go into our subfloor. And we'll get it ceiling mounted across. Like that. And then straight in. And that was easy. And we got coal going in now. Fantastic. With coal and alumina solution going into this machine, we should now be producing our very first aluminium scrap. Fantastic. We're going to color code this pipe so we know that the white alumina solution flows through it. We'll use our same swash that we made before, this white one. Now, the other aesthetic touch that we can add is, someone told me that these things are flow indicators, so I thought they were pumps, right? Because they look like they're pulsing and pumping. But they're actually flow indicators to tell you which direction the liquid goes. Which is, yeah. Of course it is. It's not, obviously these pipes don't come with pumps. But we don't necessarily need the flow indicator, right? Or we probably don't need as many flow indicators. So one thing we can think about doing is using this clean pipeline. And does that clean pipeline look a lot better without the flow indicator? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll leave that for now and we'll just keep coloring it in. It definitely looks a lot better when I color it without all the little pump indicators. I wonder who decided on this Satisfactory orange that they use for everything. So the aluminum scrap is the target of these things, so we should probably color these machines something like that gray that we used for the iron, or something silver. Is there like a silver? Can we use a carbon steel finish to tell it that these are... Oh man, that looks so cool. That looks pretty cool, the carbon steel finish. It's like a little bit specular. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference visually, but yeah. This is going to be our refineries for aluminum scrap, and now the water is also output. So with the inputs dealt with, we've got to deal with the output. And the output is going to be interesting because we need the water that's coming back from here to loop back around and go over there. So it looks like the water is going to be going underneath the floor. Now, unfortunately, well, we can delete this side, but I think we're going to need that for foundry. It's going to be a little bit awkward. So we might need to just go through the floor in this case. Unfortunately, I know my consistency with this sort of stuff is through the roof, but you're just going to have to bear with me. I think I'm just going to straight up switch my pipelines to pipeline clean. I don't think I like the one with the flow indicator. We're just going to use clean pipelines everywhere. Let's go hit up our subfloor where these are, and then we'll figure out how to route that into here somewhere. Maybe we'll just use this pathing over here. Oh man, when I replace the pipeline, it changes the color back to normal. I wonder if there's some clever way. Someone will eventually tell me on how I can stop that from happening. Now we need to bring the pipe all the way over here. Then we just need to bring this pipe down. Or actually, we'll just bring this pipe across. Now to turn a pipe exactly 90 degrees, you just put it on the edge of a foundation and then just turn it like this. And if we change it to noodle, I think, it should give a reasonably clean 90-degree turn. Wow, what the heck am I doing? Like that looks like a pretty clean 90-degree turn. As clean as pipes get. I don't know why they didn't do 90 degrees as a thing that you can choose to do, but weird. Oh, I say that, but we really need it to be directly under here, don't we? So we'll just turn it however then. We need it to be on this line, I think. This line. Clean enough. Now we can get some junctions to line up with this. Ah, it doesn't line up. Alright. So we're just gonna have to eyeball this. Doesn't have the snapping functionality. Great. So with the water coming in here, we probably need to do a valve to tell the water over there not to come this way. So we'll add a valve right at the end over here. How far in should I add the valve to tell it not to flow down this pipe? I'll just do it where it's blue. Great. So hopefully the water will come in here and flow that way. Let's color our pipe now. Which swash did I use? This blue one? Yeah, I think so. Right, with that colored in, one of our outputs is dealt with, the water. It should now flow out and over there. So with that output dealt with, we need to now, well, we don't have to deal with this second output because we need the foundries to smelt that into ingots, basically. So we're going to build the foundries next. And we said we need 5 foundries, so I'm going to set that up now. Whether I use my blueprint or not is the interesting question. Our blueprint is sets of 3 foundries. I don't know, because do we want the inputs for the foundries all to come from underneath, the silica and the quartz? Let's see what that might look like. So to make it come from underneath, I'm basically deleting this floor section, right? We'll extend out our subfloor. With this new subfloor completed, we should be able to now just place our foundry blueprint. Make sure it's flipped the right way. Then we just need to shift it to where it makes the most sense, and I think that's about here. We'll give it one more tile upwards for a little bit of room for future railings and decorations and whatnot, and this should function perfectly fine. We'll need a second set because we need 5 in total and our foundry blueprint is only 3. We'll just shift that into place and plop it down. We'll just disable this last one, or we can just leave it off by not setting its recipe. We'll set these to produce aluminum ingots, which require aluminum scrap and silica. After setting the recipes on all of them, we just need to now connect the power between the 2 sections of the blueprint, trying not to fall down to the sub-level in the process. Let's add in some catwalks for safety and OH&S. Should probably add another section to the floor as well. We'll just clean up and finish off this catwalk. Fantastic. We just need to power these machines now. We'll hook up our machines to the double wall power outlet. Then we'll hook up the double wall power outlet and to the nearest one. That should give it power. Great, they have power, they just need the material inputs now. Okay, so the inputs all going into the subfloor. We need 1 belt for silica and 1 belt for aluminum scrap. Makes sense to me to start with the easier one, as aluminum scrap is being produced right here, right next door. Now we can bring them down, but bringing them down would be, yeah, it would make probably the most sense, right? So let's see what that might look like. We're gonna just bring them through the floor, I suppose, because there's no other way to do this. Now you can bring them up and around as well. If we bring them up and around, we can replace one of these conveyor lift sections to go up. I think that makes more sense, honestly. Let's put down a wall. Put a wall hole on the second level, and then we'll pipe these up. Get the mergers in the right way, get some belts across, and hopefully this is enough turning radius to make it into this wall, and it looks perfect. Once it's in this wall, we just need to bring it out here analogously. So we'll get rid of these conveyor lifts then. And we'll just slightly redesign our smelters, foundries, sorry, and hopefully that will be all good. Alright, we'll remove these unnecessary splitters and belts now and rebuild them facing upwards. Always a good question which way we want our conveyor lifts to face. That's fine, we'll just do it this way. We'll chuck on our splitters. Then it should be a simple matter of just belting this output into here. Let's have a look at what this scrap looks like. Looks pretty cool. They're like in little yellow buckets. Alright, so with the scrap now feeding out, we need to deal with the other products. The other product is silica, so we can route them in the subfloor. Let's go over to where our silica is being produced on the other side of the factory. So currently our silica is coming out through the roof. Do we want to bring it into the subfloor is the question. We could. It makes sense, so let's do it. Let's not be lazy. Dismantle the old lifts. We missed the belt. Then we're just going to bring them down the subfloor. These lifts are going to be a little bit more annoying because they're going to have to go through the floor. Ugh. Is that something worth doing? I don't know. Could have just gone out and then down. But that's fine. We'll just take it through the subfloor. We'll even use these conveyor lift holes due to popular demand. How far out do I put them? Like that, right? Is this what everyone else's factory looks like? Everything just goes straight through the floor and there's no like openness or anything? Once I finish this playthrough, I'm very keen to go and check out what other people's stuff looks like. We'll do something like that. How do I know now that that's doing that? If I just build like that, is that correct? That doesn't look correct. Oh, this builds a half lift, I see. And then you can use this subfloor to build the other half of the lift. I see how they work now. They have a practical function. I understand now. I think that's what everyone was trying to explain to me. They were like, use these lift holes to get through the floor. I understand now. Okay. Well, it's good to learn stuff. So let's get a merger in and get that belt of silica out to where we need it. Good that it's not clipping against this water line. Oh, I missed a little blue over here. I really need to make a belt for all my colors. A bar, sorry. Alright, let's get that belt merged out. Alright, with that done, let's get it somewhere. Probably along this ceiling. Along this ceiling would clip right through the bauxite belt, but whatever. We've given up on trying to get things not to clip a very, very long time ago. Believe that is centered. That is not centered. I find building on the ceiling is a lot more difficult than building on the floor. But I've been reluctant to use ceiling mounts everywhere. But it makes sense here. This is the input that it needs to go into, and there it is. With that, we should have both silica and the aluminum scrap going in, and the foundries should be making our very first aluminum ingots. However, the ratio is not correct at the moment because we haven't dealt with all the components' secondary outputs. So for example, what else produces silica? I've already forgotten. I think it's this thing. This thing also produces silica. So we need to take this silica and merge it with the other silica. Conveyor lift holes. Help me out here. Is it there? I think it's there. That was easy enough. Let's get that merged in. Now we just need a merger to put these two belts together. Why does this look like a full belt of silica? And this is where priority merging is important as well, because we don't want to rely on the fact that this stuff is full. So I don't know how I can get it to take this belt first. I suppose I can get it to do a smart splitter here and then just sink the excess to guarantee that it definitely is the correct volume. But let me just double check my maths to see why this is outputting a full belt of silica. I think it's just draining all the silica in the machines. That's why it's like terrible and slow at the moment. But in theory, we should be able to supply this all perfectly. We might have to use some smart splitters later, depending on our volumes and if things are getting backed up and not being produced properly. But that's the silica output dealt with. We've got the water output dealt with. I think that's everything, is it? Are we done? I believe we're done. We are now producing aluminum ingots. So we can get the output out and get it trucked back to base. Let's figure out a path to do that. Well, we'll start with a path out this way. So the aluminum ingots are being produced here. They need to go out the wall around here. Don't resort to old habits. Use the control to replace things. Alright, let's get it out the wall and then we'll get a path going this way to figure out where we need to go to meet the main road, basically. So there's our main road. Let's get that main road extended a little. Now we know where the truck stop needs to go. It's going to be going around here somewhere. Now, whether we eventually change this to some sort of train stop, it doesn't really matter. But for now, we'll just make a truck stop. We'll do it a little bit in to give some room for a 3-point turn. And then the belt can just come out like that. Let's see how high it needs to be to not clip the ground. So somewhere around here. 1, 2, 3. Is that flat? Yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, stupid trees in the way. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Damn you, nature. Always making my life hard. And then we'll just get it going down at some point. Do it nice and clean like that. And just like that, we're getting it into the truck stop. I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got our aluminum ingots at last. Fantastic. The truck stop does need power. Don't we have a power pole like right here somewhere? We do. We can connect it directly into here. And then we need a tractor and some fuel. Now we're stocking up the aluminum ingots. Now a truck, we can try to use a truck, but I don't think it's going to be very good. Because how do you even turn a truck? I think this is where someone was also hinting at me before. They were like, oh yeah, one day you're going to need this. Let's give it some of this excess wood. Okay, first of all, these trees all need to go before we can decide to even use a tractor or a truck. We did test earlier that these trees are destroyable. Clear the road. Get out of here, nature. Alright, we've got a clear road now. Let's go back and test if this truck route is even drivable and whether a truck can even do a 3-point turn around here. Someone said that my roads should be 4 wide to make truck routes possible. Okay, so how does a truck do a 3-point turn on this road? With great difficulty. I mean, we can make the road accommodate the truck. And by that I mean, once it goes here to load its cargo, we can probably add a thing behind it to let it do the turn. So like up and around this way. Let's give that a go. We'll just prototype with this, and then we can replace it with actual road. Actually, no. I built various blueprints to accommodate turning. So let me put some of those down. A road corner. Now, is the road corner possible to turn in both directions that I want? I'm not too sure. So it's a road corner like that. And then a road corner like that. And were I to delete some of this stuff, another road corner would do it. I don't know. Just trying out some new stuff, you know, keep things spicy and interesting. It's like a little turning bay for our tractor. Oh. So let's give that a go. So it loads its cargo, and then it does a little stupid trees. Alright, nature, get out of my way. To reverse the truck back, it's stuck. Fantastic. Ugh. Alright. With my terrible driving skills, doing the truck is even more of a pain than anything else. But yeah, kinda. If we make this more road, then we should be sweet. If I do another road corner here... Oh, what am I pressing? Do not press the tilde key. Looks like you're cheating. You just remove one of these. Yeah. I mean, we can just fix this pathway thing. Get rid of the lines at the turning bay. And I think that's good. It gives it plenty of room to turn. And then we go straight. And this should take us... Oh my god, I can't even go straight. Stop that truck. Not sure I'm a big fan of this truck. It's certainly not a fan of me. Come on, get off the road barrier. You can do it. Alright. Let's put one down again and try it. I mean, if we can't even get the truck to work, how are we going to end up recording a path, right? So, say it goes over here. Oh my god, it's so hard to control. It loads the cargo, and then we do a turn. Might need to do a little bit of a 3-pointer, but that's fine, as long as it's got room to do the turn. Then we head back to base, and hopefully we can just drive in a straight line. It can use one side of the road, but it tends to go over the road barrier a little bit. It might struggle to go underneath some of our like our train line poles. I don't think it's going to be able to do get to that part of the road, but that's fine. It should be okay for this section. And then it's going to come to base and unload its cargo somewhere. Preferably somewhere that doesn't interact with this thing. So now we need to do a big decision on what we're going to do with our next section of factory. With our train station in the middle, does it make sense to make a new factory section on the other side, like a brand new factory to deal with the more complex products, because we've seen in the milestone that we're going to need blenders and whatnot and whatnot. And I also think we're going to need to train in new stuff eventually. So if we mark out an area, oh, but then there's these rocks in the way. Let me start marking out some area to see where a new section of factory might even go. And then we can decide how we hook into this main road. I think that makes the most sense. So if these train stations currently for plastic and rubber, and that train station over there for deuterium, coal and stuff. But in future, I feel like we're going to need to bring more materials up. So we can make a critical decision. One, we can build vertically. As in, we can stack a second set of train lines on top of this set of train lines, right? And then we can make another set of stations on top for more trains. That way we don't have to use up all this room for another set of train stations. If we need more train stations, it makes sense to stack them vertically atop one another, I think. I'm not sure if that's going to work in practice, but I'm going to go with that. And therefore, a new section of factory can start over here. Now, with a new section of factory over here, it makes sense that this now becomes a road. So I'm going to remove all the blueprint that I just did. Oh man. Just did all that blueprint just to come to that realization. All right. So if this is the end of my train station area, and this is where my new factory is going to start, it's the underneath that's going to become road. So I'm going to start building out from here. And I think this is where the blueprint tile should start to match everything else. I can confirm that by deleting blueprint mode. Oh, this is not even blueprinted. All right, that's fine. We'll just start a new blueprint over here. And where it matches the end of this train station is where it starts to become road, which is exactly here. Okay, cool. We've got a plan. Building all that foundation, we've finally run out of concrete in our dimensional storage. But hey, we've done so well with our dimensional storage so far. I love it. It's actually super handy. We've accumulated, look at all this crap we've accumulated in our bags. If we hadn't had dimensional storage, we would have run out of storage space with all these stupid wood and leaves we've been cutting down. I'm going to put them into a box for now because I don't know if they might ever come in handy one day, but I don't want to go around chopping down trees if they do become handy. So I'm going to go over here and just clear my inventory. It should be super easy to clear now. So everything that's currently in my inventory, I actually don't need like any of it. Like all this steel beam and whatnot. They're just from dismantling stuff. I think steel pipe we said we would keep. And then we can get rid of all this other stuff. Why do I have so much of it? I don't understand. Plastic and rubber we want to keep. But all these rotors and motors, I don't know where I got it from. But we can get rid of all of that. We just need biofuel and leaves. Oh, well, we can get rid of the leaves. We'll take the concrete back. Need the concrete. And we'll get rid of this. And this is all we need to keep in our inventory for building, I think. The dimensional storage, super useful. Wish I got it earlier. I bet all these people in the comments section before that were telling me, go explore, go explore. Now they're like, yep, that's why we told you to go explore. But here's our road. This road matches our other road over there. So we might have to redo some of this section. I don't know how I'm going to get this road to meet this without redoing the height, which is going to be super annoying. But we should definitely commit ourselves to doing that because we want our factory to look nice. Satisfactory, the way I see this game, building just a functional factory that's like well optimized and balanced and producing the materials you want in the correct quantity is just one part of the game. Another big part of the game is actually creating a very aesthetic factory. And fantastic, we have a bloody rock in our way again. See, the other thing we've run out of is steel iron plate. So we know there's another material that can't keep up with our building, especially when we're building foundation. I think steel plate and concrete are going to be the, iron plate and concrete are going to be the two materials that are going to block us from doing a lot of stuff. All right, cool. The other thing is we got to figure out where this factory section ends because there's a giant rock in the way over here. So let's see what we can do. So if we want to mirror the factory over the other side, this tile is the very start of the factory. So let's put down a factory start section over here and start building that way to see what's going to eventually stop us. Also, now that we have glass and all that fun stuff, why don't we build our factory corners properly? That way we don't have to add the glass in later. So we built a factory corner, room corner earlier. And our factory room corner just has our one thing over here. But why don't we build the factory room corner now with the actual everything on it? And I'm wondering if we should build the lights and the ceiling. I actually have a better idea. Let's try it. Alright, so here's the plan. We're going to build the corner of a factory, and it's going to come complete with walls and glass windows. So let's start this, and it's not going to have a floor. And it'll make sense why in a second. Is this how you build it? Yeah, it is how you build it. Trying to figure out how I normally do my glass layout. It's like this. Everything looks very weird and abstract when you're not doing thing. Like when you're not doing... It's very hard to design stuff in abstract corners when you're not having an entire factory to work with. I'm not sure why I don't have silica. I never stored silica and things and quartz into dimensional storage. I might pay for that later. We might need to keep some quartz on us for science, eh? Okay, that's fine. Dimensional storage, once we get more Mercer things, we can definitely do more with it. But we need to, for now, put the windows on. I'm going to use this hex window. Is it this one or this one? Honeycomb window. I think I use hex frame windows. I think they look the best. Which ones are your favorite windows? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so this is my factory corner, and I'm actually going to build the roof onto the factory corner. For the roof, I'm going to use a specific tiling. We're going to use this foundation, and we're going to use the coated concrete foundation. And that's going to go along here. Oh, I'm missing a set of windows. And then the rest of the foundation would just be regular foundation. Because we generally know the edge is going to be the pathing, right? And then this way, when I build my new factory sections, I won't have to manually do all the decoration. It'll all just come pre-decorated. And then the rest of it can just be filled in with regular foundations. Now, the interesting thing about this is how am I going to do the lights? I want to do the lights on this section so that we can do it with lights every single time. And I don't have to... I found it really hard to add lights onto the ceiling. That's why I want to do the ceiling part. Now, I can do the lights, but I can't actually do the cabling for the lights. So let's ask ourselves, what makes the most sense for lights? Do we want lots and lots of lights, or do we just want like some lights? We can do lots and lots of lights like that. Now, what else do we need to add to a factory corner? I think this is okay for a factory corner. What do you guys think? Well, there's only one way to find out. Call this factory corner V2. Oh man, now I'm really starting to go into programmer terminology, started doing different versions. We're going to end up with like V2.187 or some crap like that eventually, I can already tell. I don't know what icon I should use for this. Maybe something that denotes a corner? Sure, why not? That'll do. Now go into our blueprint designer, and then we're going to go test if this thing even works. I have a feeling it might not even work. So my intended way this is going to interplay is when I lay down my foundation, I'm going to use a regular 4x4 now, and this is going to be the floor, but now I should be able to put the factory corner on top, and this is going to be the moment of truth. Here's factory corner V2. Ah, it works exactly how I want it to. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. And it lines up perfectly onto the blueprint, I think. I think this is the standard alignment for the blueprint. Oh, this is so much easier than what I was doing before. So if I just do this, there's my standard 16x16 factory. And by the way, we have a bigger blueprint designer now, so we can make our factory bigger if we want to. But I don't know how big, so I'm going to stick with my standard design pattern. All right. So with that done, we can put in the rest of the corners of the factory, and now our factory should come with roof and lights. That's the best part, right? So we just stand here and then just rotate. It should give us, oh man, this is so much easier. So we want to make our blueprints all fit in these 16x16 tiles so that they're nice and easily tileable. We basically want to create a set of Lego blocks to play with. Wait, what about the lights? They're all tiled weirdly. But that's okay. I actually don't mind that. Do I mind that? Oh, that's annoying. They have to do different factory sections to get the lights to interplay nicely. Because there's no flipping functionality. Alright, this is just going to have to do it for the lights. We're going to have to figure out something on how to wire these lights in properly. But yeah, this will have to do for the lights for now. I think it's still better than what we were doing before. And if we do this pattern everywhere, it should end up looking pretty decent. And if it doesn't, we can just tear down the lights, I guess. But this is what we're going with for now. So we need an entrance to this new factory section, something like that. Then we're going to basically see how far this can take us. Vertically, obviously, we have no obstruction, so we can take the factory as far vertically as we want. Then we need to figure out what we want to do, like how far we can go out this way, basically. What is this floor doing? This rock looks like a good stopping point for the end of the first level of factory. In fact, it's gonna just barely clip into it. Is this a proper section? Let's have a look. So factory corners unfortunately don't stack well with each other, because if I did that, then that and that will clip. So we can only put a factory corner over here, and then we have to do a modified version of the factory corner with like a missing, with a missing wall to fill in this section and this section. But that's okay. We can keep that for now. We're just using this to sketch out how much factory we can build for now. And yeah, this section we'll just leave open because we can't build obviously another factory section that way. So it'll just be a half-size factory compared to that. Not exactly, because what we can do is once we get a sufficient amount of height, we can, once we clear these rocks over here with sufficient height, we can then get the factory to just go over these rocks. Oh, hello. Which I think is fine, because usually the processes down here will be simpler than the processes that go up the top where they need more expansion. So I think this is fine for a new factory section, and I think that looks great. We should really put some pillars underneath our train station. The train station platform doesn't exactly look great. I don't know what I want to do with this section, but we'll figure it out. Now I need to fix this main road. Okay, so we're going to have to tile it across and redo the incline to be a lot steeper, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out and then we'll go from there. Alright, took a bit of doing, but I manually redid this road. It now travels up a 4-meter incline, but I'm not sure if that's going to create any future issues for my truck route or whatever, but we'll test that out now. But we'll basically get the aluminum products dropped off somewhere here. So if the truck is going to stop, say, at the start of the aluminum section, over here somewhere, then we need to create a little bit of a room for it to turn around. So I'm going to set that up now. So it's pretty arbitrary where we put the truck stop. I don't think I lined that up to anything in particular. So say we just did it here. We need to create a little bit of room for it to be able to turn and then go back. So if we give a 2 tile gap, we can loop around and then go back. So we use asphalt foundation. We should be able to replace. No, that doesn't work, surprisingly. If I hold control, it doesn't replace the foundation. So foundation replacement's always going to be a pain. Oh, did I just have it in the wrong build mode? Let me try that again. No, I can't hold control to replace the foundation. We probably need to give it a little bit more room because this tile over here is going to be used for inputs and outputs. Now, I'm not going to put my road barriers in just yet. So let's just test out how the tractor performs, or the truck performs on this turn. And this way, this truck doesn't interfere with the other thing either. So it comes over, and then it stops at the truck stop, and then it needs to do this turn. Oh, I can't see. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It needs to do a couple of janky turns, but it seems to perform. Let's see if it has any trouble traveling up this hill. It's a little bit slow, but manageable. And I'm not sure if that's just because the fuel I put in there is crap. But yeah, I think we're good. Let me set up the stations and see if we can get a truck route going. We might as well. We can just start the route here. It doesn't really matter, right? So we can just start recording and then we can just go. So we can go over here, we can load the cargo. Wow, there's actually a whole loading animation now. Okay, now we can try to do our turn. And if we need to do 3-point, we'll do 3-point. And off we go back home. Oh. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to control the turning on the truck, but yeah, should be fine. Down the ramp it goes. And then over here to unload the cargo. Let me set the truck station to unload. We probably need to power it as well. Let's jump into the truck and hit F to unload. I assume it knows how to unload at some point. And then we can go around the truck stop and head back home. Oh, can't see. And up the incline to complete off the loop. And I think we're done. All right, now it's saved. Let's go and save that path. Aluminium. Do you guys in America spell it aluminum or you just say aluminum, but it's actually spelled aluminium? We say aluminium. All right, that is now saved. So we can hide the path nodes. Then we can set this thing to autopilot and jump out, and it should go off and do its thing. Or fall back down and die. What the heck is it doing? Well, I should snap back to doing its thing, right? What the heck? Oh man, what is it doing? What are you doing, truck? Yep, there you go. Off it goes. Alright, now we need to give the thing fuel. So let's set up the fuel over on this side. We probably need to fill in all the subfloors and stuff now as well. Did this thing even unload any aluminum? Aluminium? Unload. Okay. Let's give it some fuel. I'm just going to manually give it some fuel for now. And we'll go over here and go to our train station, and then we'll set up a proper fuel line. So we'll use the same fuel line that we're using, and then we'll just split it to go both directions now. I deleted this path earlier, but we actually do need it. Let's figure out where the fuel goes. Goes right here. So we'll set a path back. We'll probably just keep this subfloor in, honestly. It's kind of useful. What am I doing? Alright. So I want a splitter over here. If we put down a conveyor pole here, will it tell me exactly where to put my splitter? Yeah, it does. It's nice. Alright, cool. Is that splitting it? I don't know. I don't trust it. Well, we can test it very easily. I don't think that's splitting it properly. I thought you can split a belt like that very easily, but apparently not. Oh, easy enough to fix. Now we've got half the fuel splitting that way, half the fuel splitting that way, and this truck stop is officially powered. Let's see how our truck's doing. Chuck some fuel into it. Make sure it's running on the right kind of fuel. Okay, we've got fuel in here now. Hey, it delivered some aluminum. Amazing. Oh, I need to go amend... I shouldn't have turned off the nodes. I need to go amend the wait times as well. I don't think it's using the right wait times at the moment. We'll put some railings in now. Now, if I put some road barriers for the truck's turn, is it going to freak out? Hopefully not. Because I don't know if I clipped over some road barriers when I was recording the path or not. There we go. I think that looks okay. Now we've got aluminum. We can pipe it up. We can pipe it down into this factory to do aluminum-based processing. That's going to be fantastic. So we don't know what we want to use the aluminum for, but I'm sure the next milestone will teach us. I think if we look at the milestones, very immediately we need to make ourselves some aluminum casing, I believe it was, and that is quite simple. Let's double check. Really want the hover pack, and that just needs aluminum sheet. That's not the aluminum product, right? That's made in an assembler, and it's made with copper ingot. Oh my god. Alright, so that's not going to be that easy. Then other stuff requires more aluminum sheet. I think that's the next material, but also aluminum casing. That's a slightly easier thing to make because that just is converted directly from aluminum. Oh man, now I'm saying aluminum. I should be saying aluminium because I'm from Australia. But anyway, we can make that sheet. Let's go over here and drop some assemblers down and have a look at what that might look like. So this room can fit 2 assemblers. We already know that. Do our standard patterns. I think I want to start editing. I want to make a modification on our standard pattern as well. It's a good time to make this modification because all our stuff is running on old Mark stuff anyway. So we want everything to be Mark 4. So we'll just start with our assembler. Now in our assembler blueprint, our stuff is being loaded in from the top and our output is being outputted onto the second level. Let's change how that works. I want to flip that around because if you look at our factory and you think about it, all of our input is coming from below, and then whatever we make, we generally send up. So shouldn't the input come from the second floor and the output come from the third floor? That makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to make that modification real quick now. Pretty straightforward modification. So we're just bringing the output to the third level and we're bringing the input in from the second level now. That way all our belts should stop clipping as much, hopefully. That's the hope anyway. So we'll save that blueprint. We'll do the same modification for the constructors and stuff like that when the time comes. Oh, our truck is here. I can show the path nodes now. Ugh, let me get in. What? Did I die? No, I got knocked over. Okay, never mind. Okay, truck. Thanks for that. Let's get that wall back in. We can put a path to the side of our factory now. Should really hook up this stuff, but the lights and things like that, but it's okay. We'll just do the assemblers for now. So yeah, we want to do something like this. In and out. Yeah, that looks right. Now, how do we usually do our assembler pattern? I believe it's like this. That makes a lot of sense. So our assembler can make this alclad aluminium sheet. Oh wait, okay, I'm gonna say aluminum because the game literally spells it aluminum. Okay, sure. So we need aluminum ingot and copper ingot. So copper ingot is going to be an issue because our current copper situation is all being consumed. Hey, our radar scouts literally every single material for us. What is this? Iron. It's good and also a little bit annoying at the same time. There's copper out here or out here. Normal purity and impure. We don't care about the impure one. What is this material? Oh, these are geysers for more power. Fantastic. We're about to get minor Mark 3s, but we don't want to use a different source. So I guess to make this alclad iron aluminum sheet, we're going to need to go claim these copper sources on the right. That's an iron and that's a copper. There's an iron and a copper next to each other right over here. How far away is that? That sounds suspiciously close to where our power is being produced. I think it's that lake. Let's go scout it out for now. We don't have to produce these products now. We're already bringing in the aluminum ingots. I think that's good enough for this episode. So let's just do a little bit of scouting for the next episode. I believe it's right here. Let's have a look at where that... Whoa, look at my scanning thing. I haven't looked at this for so long. There's so many things I can scan for now. 300 meters that way. That's almost a beltable amount of distance. Let's go over there and check it out. Notice we still haven't even dismantled our old factory yet. Our little coal generator, it's still humming away. I don't think we're ever going to dismantle it, to be honest. Why would we? Yeah, it's right here. Oh, hello. So if it's... Oh, hello. You want to die as well? Okay. That's fine. I will oblige. So if it's right here, I think that's a very beltable distance. Like, we don't need another truck stop bringing the copper. We can just belt a copper thing up and over into our factory, I guess. I feel like this is a beltable distance. I think under 500 meters, we can just belt. But then do we want dedicated smelters is the other question to make the copper for this process. Or do we want to bring copper ingots from the other side of our factory where they're already being smelted? So many questions. Let's go see how taxed our copper is in our factory. Remember, our factory is about to double again very soon because we're about to get the Mark III miner, right? And with the Mark III miner, we can double the throughput of almost everything in our factory, which is going to be insane. So here's our copper smelters. I know 480 are being used for copper wire. This one, yeah, okay. So we've got 80 available over on this side because at the moment 160 are being used for copper sheet. I love our notes. is 80 available enough? Is this alclad iron process like very, very copper heavy, or is it just a little bit of copper? That's gonna matter a lot. So let's go check it out. Yeah, it barely uses any copper ingots per machine and uses 30 aluminum ingot. How many aluminum ingots are we actually producing? 5 foundries are producing 300 aluminum ingots. Okay, so we can do like half of it for this and half of it for casing. So that means 5 of these assemblers, which means we only need 50 copper ingots. All right, so no work even needs to be done. In fact, we could probably do this at the end of the episode and get some milestones unlocked. What do you guys think? Let's do this right now. So here's the path we're going to use. We're going to put a triple wall hole here. We're going to get rid of this and we're going to put catwalks here. Then we're going to go into the subfloor and bridge a path to the other side. I'm going to go into my factory to see how this connects properly into the machines. Probably go this one into this one and then one into that one, right? That makes the most sense. Yeah, that's good to me. Doesn't that look good? I think, kind of. All right, cool. So basically these are the two things that we need, and we need them input in from here and from here. One is going to be copper and one is going to be aluminum. Then we can go over to our truck stop. We can reserve one output for the copper or for the aluminum. So it's going to be the right one, I guess. That makes sense. That's nice and easy. So we've got one material in, and now we need to clear a path all the way to our copper. And I believe our copper would be somewhere like that way. So I'm going to go from my copper over to this side. I don't know why I've done my entire subfloor all on this level, but it is what it is now. So I believe this is where the copper is. I'm going to take my best guess. A lot of materials are going to be traveling like this, by the way. We're going to need to think of a solution where materials are going to come out of here, be split somewhere here, go into the subfloor, and go into our future factory. It's going to be a whole thing. Trust. Alright, so our copper ingots are being produced here. They need to be split and go somewhere else. So let's add a splitter to do that. We can just add it right over here. Why does it know to split the machine like that, but not when I did it before? Was it because there was a floor in the way and it wasn't clipping into the actual machine? That could be it. So we're going to go over there and it's going to support 5 machines. So let's write those in the notes. Alclad aluminum 5. So it's going to be 50 and we still have 30 copper ingots left. So we're still good on that front. We'll bring this down and through this floor over here. So this was the wrong subfloor. Let me go and fix that. We had a good guess, but it wasn't quite correct. It's like over here somewhere. Bring it down. Now we should really ceiling mount this stuff because we shouldn't be using the floor because the floor's not going to exist one day. It doesn't really matter. It depends on how technical you want to get with this sort of stuff. Alright, I'm going to link this over to the other side and then I'll come talk about it when it's done. Alright, so I've managed to belt the copper down through the subfloor. There's obviously a lot of clipping over there, but we're basically going from our old factory all the way along this side and the copper's going in there and up. It's going up these lifts and it's supplying these two brand new shiny assemblers that are making our first alclad aluminum sheets. We don't know what the storage solution is going to look like for any of this either. So we can probably just use this section for storage, right? And then run the belts right under our train station. That might even work out. Let's give that a go. So where would this thing come out? So obviously it's going to go into storage, but we should actually implement our new smart splitter solution over here as well while we're doing this. What I mean by that is any material that comes out of here is going to be smart split, right? So we might as well make the last thing a smart splitter. That makes sense. Can we replace this with a smart splitter? I think we can. We just need AI limiters. I'm back with the smart splitters, but I'm just trying to figure out where I want to do it. I added a second wall hole there because we think about it like whatever this material is, it's going to go to processing one day, right? So let's just account for that. Let's just add some splitters over here like this. We'll just do it straight in the center of 2 tiles. Doesn't really matter where, as long as the belt has enough room to curve. We'll make the top one a smart splitter, Something like that. And then let's just test it out. We'll put the belt in like that into the smart splitter. And then we'll have one belt going out this way. And then say another belt going out, I guess, this way, right? And this can be the overflow belt. So let me do it from the perspective of the splitter itself, which is this way. Let me remove all this. We'll just do it from underneath. Trying to do it from above. Okay. Why can't I configure this? Did I not make this a smart splitter? Okay, probably if I have to redo the splitter, I need to, oh man, this is annoying. Okay, I can redo the splitter here. I don't know if any of these belts are connected now, but at least it let me place it in midair. Just redo the belts. Don't be lazy. So in, out, out. Just like that. Now, this is the direction in, so we can configure it, and we can go the center output is now overflow. That way, this output over here can go upstairs for further processing later. Actually, this should be the overflow because whatever's processing will be right. I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. Now I'm overthinking it. All right, so from this level, we need to take it to this level, and we can do it via ceiling mount. We don't even need that, to be honest. We can just do it like this. Eventually, this will be like some sort of bridge, I guess. Ah! Oh my god. It backs up to run me over some more. Oh my god. Okay, these road barriers, it really doesn't like it. While I'm here, I might as well show the path. Then I can fix the wait time. I think the wait time on this was like way too much. I think like 10 seconds is enough. We can hide the nodes again. And hopefully this will correct itself at some point. Don't really care too much about the truck. But from this side, we can then take it over here somewhere and then bring it down to a bunch of storage containers. Where the storage containers might go, you ask? Well, if our hub is here and the line is here, then this is the line for the opening, so it should go around here. I'm just making stuff up as I go. So like this, I guess, is as good as any. And we just need a lift up to the roof, and in it goes. And there we go, we've stored our first aluminum item, the alclad aluminum plates. And how many do we need for that milestone? Let's go check it out. Only 100. Let's put in the rest of the materials. Oh, computers and everything. Needs a lot of stuff. 100 modular frames is no problem. 100 computers is apparently also no problem. Does that mean our crystal oscillators are finally going into storage? Let's go double check that, because we haven't been storing crystal oscillators this entire time. I don't even know where they go. I think it's this one. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with my crystal oscillators because they're still not coming into storage. We'll go fix that at some point, probably between this episode and next episode. But it's fine. Let's focus back on aluminum. So we needed our computers and we need 250 motors. The dimensional storage is cool, but it kind of makes it hard to see now what item is where. That's nearly everything. We just need a few more plates. What are these called? Let me try to remember. Alclad aluminum sheet. And here we go, the hover pack.
Milestone reached. The hover pack draws energy from nearby power connections, and so can only be used in their vicinity. It provides an excellent vantage point of your work, which you clearly need. Otherwise, you would have optimized that obvious problem by now.
Wait, what? It uses electricity so it can hover forever. It doesn't use fuel anymore. Is that what it's trying to tell me? We definitely got to test this out. Hover pack. We need 8 computers. 8 computers for a hover pack? That doesn't make any sense. How do you fit 8 entire computers on a hover pack? It's got to be an upgrade, right? Is it an upgrade to the jetpack or is it a separate thing? Okay, it doesn't use fuel anymore. Oh. What? How do I get down? Up and down. C is down, space is up. What is that circular thing? Is that how much power there is in the vicinity? I mean, that's cool and all, but what about when I'm exploring the world? How far can I keep going? Amazing. I can just fly upwards now until there's no more power, and then what happens? And then it just doesn't let me leave any further. And then how do I get down quickly? Do I have to press... I can't jump down stuff anymore. I'm sure there's ways to manipulate the controls better than what I'm doing, but I guess it's kind of cool for building. So if I jump off the edge, I can fall. And I can trigger the hover pack last minute. Is there a button to turn the hover pack off? Ah, if I double tap the C, it turns it off. Cool, 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 cool. And then let's go out into the world then. What if I'm like not anywhere near power? For example, I don't want to go down here, do I? So I can double tap C to fall down this way. Oh yeah, okay. It's fine. It's better than the jetpack in every way pretty much, and I don't need to carry fuel around anymore. So now I have no power, I can't hover anymore, but then here is close enough to power and I can hover my way all the way back up to the base. Oh, this is incredible. It's actually so good. Amazing. All right, this is going to help our building so much. In fact, we don't need these walkways that wrap around the side of our building anymore. Fantastic. We love it. All right. Well, we've got our first aluminum product coming in, and we've got aluminum ingots coming into our truck stop, and all of that is automated, and we will troubleshoot all the volumes and stuff as we gain more aluminum demand. But for now, everything seems to be functional. Our truck seems to be coming back and forth, even though it's a little bit janky. Even 10 seconds seems to be like a little bit too much. We've got our new aluminum processing facility set up, hypertubes all connecting to it. We can easily go there back and forth to troubleshoot, and we're pretty much good. We have our aluminum set up. Next episode, we're going to start working on the other aluminum products like casing, so we can unlock more hub upgrades, and that way we can progress through tier 7 and 8. Let's have a quick gander at what we might want. Yes, definitely logistics. Sure. In fact, we can unlock logistics right now. 600 reinforced iron plates. Sure. Not a problem. Encased beams. Not a problem. And our shiny new sheets. Let's put a little thing in the front of this showing that we have sheets here. 200. Not an issue at all. Gotta get used to the new controls of this jetpacky thing. This hover pack. Alright. Let's chuck all that in. Oh wait, no. Pod's not back yet for another 3 seconds. And off it goes again.
Milestone reached. Fixit dedicated this milestone to the conveyor belt and lift Mark V. They may be implying that your factory could be further optimized. While they are correct, I believe they are setting unreasonable expectations. Having all of humanity very definitely relying on your work is a lot of pressure. It's a good thing I'm here.
I'm glad you are, Ada. I'm glad you're by my side and taking all the pressure off with your sarcasm. Alright, all the Mark V stuff requires alclad aluminum sheets, so we need to make sure we're producing those in enough volume. The next things are probably like the hazmat suit, which starts needing the casing, so we'll work on that next episode. And then control systems development. We can scan for sulfur and make sulfuric acid and batteries and all these other cool new components, as well as unlocking a brand new manufacturing building, the blender. Definitely going to go for that. Then we got aeronautical engineering, so that's new logistics involving drones, but we're going to need this radio control unit, which is, I guess, unlocked in here somewhere. Following that, we can start getting nuclear power, which will be awesome. I guess after hazmat suit, we should probably go for this, but again, that's going to need another thing, supercomputers. Okay. Then we got advanced aluminium products, which deals with nitrogen gas, scannable resource water. Why would I need to scan for water? Wait, resource well extractor? Is this a new way to extract water? That's crazy. All right. Then we've got leading edge production, which is all some more advanced stuff, but we need to produce all this crazy stuff to make it. When did we even unlock this new modular frame? I don't even see. Ah, here we go. So the advanced aluminum production will unlock us the next modular frame, and that will allow us to then unlock leading edge production, which will finally get us Miner Mark III. I thought we could shortcut over to Miner Mark III, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Then we got even more crazy stuff involving like plutonium and nuclear pasta and all sorts of crazy nonsense. But we'll explore all of that next episode. If you don't want to miss out on that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.